My story begins before I was even born. It was 1986, and a nuclear reactor had just exploded in Chernobyl. My parents lived in Belarus, a country neighboring the place of the tragedy. They tried to leave the Soviet Union, but there stood an iron curtain in between the USSR and the Western world that prevented them from doing so. For years, my parents suffered, their health slowly degrading. As the Iron Curtain stood strong, my parents grew weak. Only in 1991, they finally were allowed to travel outside the Soviet Union. Both my parents were taken in by the Chernobyl Children's Appeal and were transported to the first country that was willing to take them, Ireland. Going to Ireland was intended to simply help children heal during the summer from the damages caused by the radiation. But for my parents, it turned into so much more. In Ireland, they were able to make massive strides towards their future goals. My mother was able to perfect her English, and years later was able to apply that knowledge to pursue her dreams as a translator. My father was put in an assiduous family. There were 9 boys who either had a job or worked on the farm. The hosting parents had also started their own plumbing business. He was surrounded by like-minded hard workers and entrepreneurs. His dream was to create his own company. He was enticed by the idea of working for himself. In Ireland, he was able to learn the steps necessary to do so. He spent his whole summer working jobs and would spend his free time learning computer science. Ireland taught him to never give up on the streets. Through the constant perseverance he had learned throughout his life, and in his healing summers in Ireland, he earned respondent's best college in Belarus, and then created his own business and achieved his dream. But how has this affected me? How is this my story? In the poem, No Man's an Island, discusses how you develop alongside the people around you. It refers to all the people in your life as islands that make up a whole continent, and without them, you're just an island alone. My parents' decision had brought me to a completely different continent, both figuratively and literally. Their decision to move to Ireland, to be brave enough to follow their dreams, and to surround me with great and impactful people from all around the world, formed the life experiences I have had. Knowing everything they have done for me, to have a better life, motivates me to have that same impact in mind. My dad says it's not work hard, play harder, it's work hard, work harder. But it's not only their work ethic that's allowed me to do more, but it's also the people and community they've surrounded me in. When I was 7, we moved to a new neighborhood, and the kids there I can only praise. They were all around my age, and I can only describe them as amazing and fun to be with. Winters we played football, and summers we made dirt bike tracks. The time I spent with them made me understand what a community is and why it's important. On holidays, I longed to spend time with them. In school, I thought about what we're going to do after it, and at home, I belong. It's only years later that you realize how much the people around you catalyzed your growth as a person, your hobbies, or what you did in your spare time. I'm thankful to so many communities for fostering me until the present day, from the local soccer club to the coding club at school, or even the local basketball community we have at the heart of Honey Park. I've been playing basketball since I was a little kid. I'm honestly in love with the sport. Once you have the ball, it feels like there are an infinite amount of things you can do with it. I remember seeing someone in Honey Park pull off a dribble that looked like the ball teleported. Right to left, left to right, it was magic. And I just remember running up to this poor boy who was probably 5 years older than me and begging him to teach me the sorcery. This continued for the whole summer. I would keep coming up to the people who were, frankly, light years ahead of me and ask for essentially free coaching. However embarrassed I get thinking about my behavior back then, at the time I didn't care. My love for the game far exceeded anything that would prevent me from getting better. Throughout the summers I spent there, I became closer with everyone who played at that court. As these friendships form, so does the community, who I have so many fond memories of growing up with, from 3-point contests to sunset 1v1s. Something all to know about me is that I also love all things tech, from robotics to programming. It all fascinates me. It all started when I woke up one morning. I was probably 10 at the time, and wanted to create my very own video game. Specifically, a 2D platformer, with a frog as the main character. Knowing absolutely nothing about coding at the time, I would spend hours watching YouTube videos, and would keep pestering my one friend who knew how to code with questions. I ended up finishing the project, knowing everything that worked from gravity to collision physics. After that, a friend and I created a mobile app to make checking school grades easier. And what followed were a multitude of projects from AI and physics simulators to an app for golf. My journey throughout this field was only possible because of the friends who made up my community of all tech lovers. Without them, I can say for sure that I would have quit years ago, without finding out just how much I enjoyed. All these experiences have taught me the value of community, and how much faster you're able to grow if you have the people around you. My father always says that 1 plus 1 doesn't equal 2, but rather is equal to 3, or sometimes even 5. A metaphor for just having one teammate can boost your productivity and results fivefold. So if you're passionate about your hobby, finding people as passionate as you is crucial to grow, to stand, and to blossom. It was last summer that I found myself growing an interest for entrepreneurship. I live in Dublin, and the entrepreneurship scene is currently still in development. We have some amazing programs, but there are few of them. 2 of my friends and I met up recognizing the problem, that one, as young people passionate about this field, our location lacks resources to grow as fast as possible. 2, we know a lot of young people who want to just dip their toes into it and give it a try. But in Dublin, the easiest way is for a full-on 6-week program called Patch. So you could either go big or go home. Finally, 3, we were also passionate about this, that just talking about this event lit a fire for a burning drive to create what is now called YED. YED, or Young Entrepreneurship Dublin, is a monthly meetup whose mission is to build a community where someone passionate about solving a problem, building a product, or entrepreneurship in general can meet, talk to, and learn from other people who are just as passionate as they are. The event would consist of an interview of someone successful in this space, demos of what people in the community are building, and time to network with Dublin's community of young entrepreneurs. And of course, free pizza at the end. That being said, creating the first YD event had a lot of challenges. The biggest issue with something like this is the lack of evidence of past success. As it's the first event, as all 3 of us are high school students, we really lack credibility when approaching people for event space and sponsorship. After pulling way too many strings and using up all the connections we practically had, we were really grateful for Trinity College Dublin for helping us host, and Mark Cummins, a man who sold his company to Google, for getting interviewed. During the first event, we made so many mistakes, ranging from having to run to the nearest store halfway through the event because we didn't have any paper cups, to people simply not being able to find the event where it was located at. The first event was definitely an experience, but one where we learned a lot from it. Over the past few months, it has felt like YD has grown its wings and has been able to fly on its own independently, as its very own community that many people get excited to meet with every month, and not just because of the free pizza. We have interviewed some amazing people, like Bobby Healy, who is the founder of a drone delivery company, or Kieran O'Mara, who is a Y Combinator alum. It really feels like YD has grown tenfold to what we originally thought it would be, now becoming one of the largest entrepreneurship events in Dublin, with partnered sponsors and event space. Building YD was a lot of fun. Seeing this amazing community come together is a feeling I can't put into words. Every mistake was a lesson we learned, and we were able to apply it to the next event. It's amazing what you can create, even if you are a high school student, if you've just put your mind to it. So that all being said, I hope that my story of communities and passion going hand in hand inspires more people to take that next step. Thank you.